Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone who taught us his truth and who rule well. Peace, love, salutations, and mercy be unto the hopeful elect. Now, you Israelite women, all right, the majority of you have become extremely cruel, man. All right? Especially against your young ones. You know, you're hardened against your children. And you expect that of anybody upon the planet Earth that you will, show a level of compassion to, a level of love. It will be these children that you've, labored to carry, and then to give birth to. For 9 months you carried them within your womb, and then you labored to give birth to them through great travail. All right, you would expect you to have a level of love and compassion towards them, but you don't. And this video isn't in the regard of, all of the Israelite mothers that are out there. You have a few, of the respected tribes, that truly, genuinely love their children. But for the most part, man, the majority of you are cruel and you are violent. All right. And you don't love your children. All right. But you have the audacity to celebrate what is known as Mother's Day, which is a horrible fucking day. All right. Hey, the scriptures say, honor thy father and thy mother. Here it is. The majority of you, who are of age, you put your mother in a fucking nursing home and let them neglect her. You won't take her into your own home. All right, yeah, but you'll put her in the nursing home, and then you'll go and get her a gift, a pajama set every year. You don't truly love, your mother. And a lot of you are not qualified to be considered mothers anyway. All right, you're cruel ostriches. All right, you're a beast. All right. And it's shown in the love and the level of compassion that you have towards your young ones, which I'm going to grab an article. All right, and I'm going to go into it. And this is from, the Detroit Free Press. And this is dealing with the woman from a small city within Michigan known as Inkster. And this woman truly showed how much she loved her son. And the fact that she did something violent to him, and that violent act resulted in her son being dead. All right. A lot of you women, you didn't want your children anyway. You may have had your children and trying to keep a man, or just was chasing pleasure. All right. And end up having a child as a result of that. The pleasure that comes with sleep, that is, because it mentions that in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter. Solomon saying that I myself am a mortal man, and for 10 months I was compacted in blood and made of the pleasure that comes with sleep. Let me see if I can find that real fast. I think that's Wisdom of Solomon. All right, the 7th chapter, verse 2. It says, and in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood, and of the seed of man, and the pleasure that came with sleep. Well, a lot of women, go around chasing this kind of pleasure, and other pleasure as well. And the result of it is a child is made. Now, they never wanted this child anyway. So they grow up resenting the child, hating the child, because they feel like the child made them lose their figure, made them lose their beautiful body. And not only that, but took away the opportunity for them to live in pleasure, for them to, just live their life, live their good old best life. But if you're chasing that and you're seeking that, then guess what? You're chasing the life of death. 1 Timothy 5:6, it says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. And the Greek word for pleasure, the word there is spatalao. Spatalao. And it means to live luxuriously, lead a voluptuous life, give oneself to pleasure. All right, to be wanton. Wanton is dealing with being lustful. All right, you got a lot of women, they love riding the cock carousel, jumping from man to man. And they end up having a child and not knowing who's the child's father. All right, end up taking a plethora of paternity tests and still don't know who the damn father is. You know? So they left with this child they never even fucking wanted. So therefore they abuse the child and they neglect the child. All right, a lot of you are mentally unstable. All right, you shouldn't even be mothers anyway. But really, hey, it is a blessing to be a mother. All right? And the true mother, you know, would marry her husband, be loyal to him, bear children, guide the household, and give no occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. Hey, but you women are having children in your father's house or in your mother's house. All right, because she probably chased the father off. You grew up, you know, seeing your mother deal with multiple men. Now, you might get sensitive to hearing this, but this is the reality of the women of Israel. And when the hell are you going to change? All right, but you can't say anything to them because whatever you say, it's going to be offensive. All right, you can't tell them that they're doing wrong. You can't tell them that they can't be a hoe. Excuse my language. But it's a good thing to be a wife, man. It's a beautiful thing to bear children by your husband and to guide the household. But you can't get them to stay still to do that. All right, no, they want to go around. They want to have liberty. They want to gad abroad. They want to get drunk. They want to party. All right, they want to chase after this or that guy. And they end up with children that they don't even want. And their heart is so hardened towards these little ones. Man, this is pitiful. All right, it's a sad thing to behold. Now, I work in an environment when I have to see this, man. Children getting punched in the chest. All right, you know, getting yelled at. And then you wonder why the child grew up to be so goddamn violent, man. All right, because what are you sowing into them? Nothing but violence. Nothing but hatred. Nothing but evil. Your hearts are so hardened towards your little ones, man. All right, you're breaking the child's self-esteem. Instead of building them up, instead of encouraging them, the child is brought very low, man. But yet, you can't tell them nothing. Job, the 39th chapter, all right, verse 13. It says, "Gavest thou goodly wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich, which leaveth her eggs in the earth, and warmeth the dust, and forgetteth that the foot may crush them, and that the wild beast may break them. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear." So she is hardened against her young ones as if they're not hers, man. All right, you are treating your children as if your children are enemies. And you can blame that shit on mental illness all you want to. You goddamn right. Hey, the so-called Negro woman, all right, Latino woman, all right, and Native American woman, hey, you're mentally ill. Which really that mentally illness is spirits. All right, you got demons on you, man. And this is a clear example of that. All right, within this article, which was posted 4 days ago, 3-year-old found dead in Inkster, mother in custody. A 3-year-old was found dead with an apparent stab wound on Wednesday. Hours later, his mother was found in a hotel in a different city, police say. So here it is, your 3-year-old is dead, but yet you're in a hotel in a different city. Yeah, what does that mean? All right, you can't blame it on nobody else, man. It says police were called about 3:30 p.m. to the 26,400 block, Salakia. 26400 block of Lay Street for a child believed to be dead, said Inkster Police Chief William Riley III. Two relatives, believed to be the grandmother and the aunt, told police they hadn't heard from the child's mother in several days and went looking for her, Riley said. Police found a 3-year-old boy in the bedroom with blood and an apparent stab or slicing wound to his chest. Riley said the mother was not there. The aid of fellow police agencies, unspecified technological means, led police to the mother several hours later, roughly about 7 p.m. in a hotel in another city, Riley said. So what does that mean? That the woman was hardened against her young one as if he was not hers. All right? And she put him to death. She put him out of his misery. The mother is in custody and a person of interest, Riley said. Thus far, it's believed that the two lived alone at the home. The investigation is underway into the motive. So they know who did it, but they just want to find out the motive behind it. Well, here's the motive right here. Job 39 and 16, it says, she is hardened against her young ones as though they were not hers. All right, her labor is in vain without fear. So the thing is, she treats her young ones as if they're her enemies. Tragic as it may be, we need to find out what happened and why, Riley said. Riley said at least one officer mentioned how difficult seeing the loss was. The department offers support services to officers and police chaplain was sent to the scene for them as well as the family. It's a tragedy for a whole community, he said. When something like this happens, it shakes the neighborhood because a child is involved, he said. And what's crazy? They're put in the media, all over the media, how women are suffering from domestic violence cases and violent partners, all right, as they're locked in the homes due to coronavirus. But nobody's mentioning how these women are becoming, hardened towards their little ones. Nobody's making, a plea for these children that are being beat, all right, and being abused, rather physically or verbally, by their own mothers. Which this shouldn't even be anything that is heard of. Hey, the scriptures say in the book of Lamentations 4:3, it says, even the sea monsters draw out the breasts. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel like the ostrich in the wilderness. The tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. So dealing with the aspect of being cruel. All right, the word there is akazar or akzar, right? For cruel. And what does it mean? It means violence, all right? So the daughter of our people have become violent. All right, they've become harsh, cruel, an enemy, all right, fierce. And there's another word, virulent. Let's look up that and see what that means. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. It says of disease or poison, extremely severe or harmful in its effects. All right. These women have become toxic. All right. Bitterly hostile. Oh, shit. Man, if this isn't on point, they've become bitterly hostile. All right. And not only towards the men of their nation, but also towards their children. All right. Which is the complete opposite of how our women used to be. All right, our women used to be tender. All right, man, you want to speak about Israelite women? Man, there was a point of time where our women were very tender. All right, and they were delicate. As the scriptures say within the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, verse 56. It says, the tender and delicate woman among you which will not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter, all right, and towards her young. So here it is. You should be tender and delicate, which I'm going to grab those words in Hebrew. One of them, tender, is rach, all right? And it says soft, delicate, tender, delicate, gentle. All right, but these are attributes that are hard to find in them now. The word for delicate, ainag, dainty, all right? And what does it mean to be dainty? Let's look that word up as well. Delicately, small and pretty. All right, fastidious, of difficult to please, typically concerning food. Well, that's going into something else. But yeah, our women were soft, smell good, but now they look hard and rough and walk with their chest out. Some of them even grow, chin hair, man. All right, that's the opposite of the way that they should be. Now, in the kingdom of heaven, man, our women are going to be humble, man. All right, it's going to be a clear contrast, like a white and black. You'll be able to tell the difference. But as of right now, oh my goodness. All right, you see the way that they are. And yet, if you speak up about this, then guess what? You bet not, because, hey, they're going to be all over you. Which I'm sure this video is going to get a lot of negative, feedback, for speaking up about a reality. All right, you women, the majority of you, all right, because you have a few that genuinely care about their children and love them. But for the majority of them, oh my goodness, you don't love your children. All right, yeah, but you enjoy the benefits that come from them, whether it be, EBT, SNAP, WIC, Section 8 housing. All right, but you treat your children like shit, man. All right, and one of the ways that you treat them like shit, hey, in a lot of cases, you keep them back from their fathers. All right, which is a sign of neglect in itself. And Esau tolerates this shit, and he'll let you get away with it. All right, he condones it, and he helps you within his system, which in some cases, the child is better off with the father than they are with the mother. Because the mother is very abusive towards them. All right, but hey, thank you, how about Shemiah Washai, man? Hey, this is coming to an end very soon, man. All right, and possibly, hey, your children can be delivered, from you. All right, because we got two major enemies at this present time. One being, one being Esau, Edom, and the second one being his attack dog, man. So I just want to bring this article out on what this nation considers Mother's Day, and to shed the light on, the cruelness of a lot of you Israelite women that are out there, man. All right. So for the ones that are humble, all right, and that, carry yourself in a level of decency, hey, continue to do that, and believing upon Yahweh by Shemiah Washai and pre-adventure, hey, the Lord may save you and your children. But for the rest of you, man, hey, there's no hope for you. All right, you pleasure chasers, and that the result of chasing pleasure is going to be death. All right, you hate your children, and you're evil, man. And the Lord's going to bring, his judgment upon you. So with that, I truly hope that this lesson was edifying. Until the next time, Shalom.